Yucca or Yucca? Which one is it? So we are zoomed in up close and personal today because we are reviewing the new palette from Natasha Denona, the Yucca palette. I'm hoping that it's Yucca because I definitely don't want to say Yucca. And this is what it looks like. So this is a brand new palette that just launched. It is $69. And here I am already giving you the deets without even telling you that, hi, I'm Maryam, welcome back to my channel. Basically, you get the drift. Today I'm gonna be reviewing this new palette from Natasha Denona and also some new eyeliner pencils from this Yucca collection. I'm gonna be creating a look, maybe two, let's just say two, a daytime look and a nighttime look. And of course, I'm gonna be giving you my honest review as I always do. So subscribe if you aren't already, notification bell, and let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's talk about the deets. $69 for this palette. $24 for each of these new pencils. Two of them are limited edition. The Lime Camu Camu and also the Fuchsia Mustard Yellow are limited edition. And let's pop in a close-up of this eyeshadow palette, which is actually inspired by Natasha's journey to the Maldives and also by the tropical leaves of the Caribbean yucca plant. So when I think of yucca, I actually think of the root yucca, you know, yucca fries, the ones that you eat in the Caribbean. I actually don't think it's the same thing. I think a yucca plant and a yucca root are two separate plants, but correct me if I'm wrong, perhaps the plant or the root is part of the same plant. Anyway, in this palette, we have 3 formulas of sparkling foiled matte and metallic eyeshadows. I'm assuming this is a summertime collection, though this definitely gives me fall vibes with a hint of summer. Like some of these greens and some of these limey olivey shades could definitely be translated as summertime. I see the Caribbean inspo, though the Maldives are not a part of the Caribbean. So I guess I'm seeing like tropical vibes, minus the super vibrant pinks and peaches and purples that I typically associate when thinking of the tropics. All right, so I think what we need to do is actually conduct some swatches. So I'm gonna start doing these on myself and I'm gonna show you guys a close-up of what it looks like. I'm gonna swatch the pencils first. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the eyeshadow palette, starting with the shade Plantasia. That's a really, really cute name. Oh my gosh. But let me actually skim through this. So what struck me about these swatches is that the camera, my iPhone camera, literally could not figure out the color balance for this color story. It seemed to be shifting from warm to cool, making my arm kind of purple and then making it kind of orange. And I think that's because some of these shimmery shades are just so bright and so prismatic that the camera literally did not know how to calibrate. I guess that's what draws me in about this palette. It's really these metallics. They are so unique and they are so buttery upon the swatch. I can only imagine how they will apply over the lid. There was one shade in here, shade Fuchsia, which is like an orange. Actually, it's a matching shade to the liner. This one was different because it was in fact a cream shadow. Even though it's matte, you can tell in the close-up swatch that it's a little bit more wet and it's a little bit more tightly pressed than everything else. And that's because it really does have this creamy texture to it. The rest of the mattes were similar to other Natasha Denona eyeshadows, the mattes that I'm used to. And as far as metallics, I really only noticed one metallic shade, which is the shade Ray, whereas the other metallic eyeshadows were more in the foiled sparkly spectrum or category. All right, so I'm gonna remove these swatches real quick because I am wearing a white shirt and I am not trying to stain anything around here and get this green everywhere. The only thing I have left to do is actually try this out. I personally am so used to Natasha Denona eyeshadows that I almost feel like you guys are used to Natasha Denona eyeshadows. They've always been great quality to me. I really appreciate all the variety and different color combos and all the different stories that Natasha Denona, the brand, has to offer us in terms of color. The one thing that I was thinking about is that perhaps we are just not wearing eyeshadow palettes the way that we used to back in 2019 or 2018 before the pandemic. And so I'm wondering if eyeshadow palettes in general, even as great of quality as Natasha Denona eyeshadows, are even interesting to us at this point. You guys let me know, because I oftentimes find myself just slapping on one color, if that, and heading out the door. But this indeed is a very unique and different color story. So of course I'm interested in testing it out. And I noticed that there is an interest online specifically about this palette, which by the way, I heard that it was leaked. I heard that somehow images of this palette showed up before Natasha announced it, so let me know if that's in fact the case. All right, so I am thinking I definitely need to test out this limey green color, because that is a color that's typically very difficult to formulate in eyeshadows. And I'm also curious how it will show up on the flesh. I'm gonna pick up that on a dense Huda Beauty brush. Already applied my primer, Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm gonna start applying that very close to the lash line, kind of sticking to the movable part of the lid, just like that. Okay, although this color is light, it is bright, it is definitely visible, and it doesn't look pastel-y, aka chalky. So that, to me, comes off as very fresh in the camera. So even this one shade could probably serve as a good daytime look. I like that there's absolutely no fallout, but the pigment is sticking. And I would even go as far as saying that this looks flattering and not bizarre. That's one thing I always appreciate about Natasha the woman. I think she just has such a great sense for color that it truly shines in her palettes. Something about the way that she puts colors together is unlike any other makeup brand, and that's one of the things that I really appreciate about the artistry of this brand. All right, so next I'm gonna pick up this shade Citrine, which is like a slightly more mustardy version of this previous shade. I'm gonna pull it out a little bit towards the tail end of the brow, like that, and also slightly above all this green, just to create a little bit of interest and artistry, just outlining the eye socket. Very slight. Do the same thing on this side, just pulling it towards the tail end, and boom, that's nice. I'm gonna take the same shade, Citrine, and add that to my lower lash line. Ooh, this looks really nice. Really unexpected, but interesting. I would say this is very fashion forward. Imagine you're wearing something basic, like a white button down, or like even some jeans. And this could potentially be your statement. This could be your detail, your accessory to amp up your look or to dress it up. I quite like. I'm gonna take this shade Ray. This one was the only metallic, or in my opinion, this one was the only true metallic without that sparkly finish type of shadow in this palette. So I'm gonna use this for the inner corner to add a little bit of something interesting and cool. Quite like how that looks. Though I wouldn't necessarily use this shade and highlight under the brow. This is just a little bit too green to pop in here. And there's really no other eyeshadow that I would use for the brow bone. So this color story is very specific. Of course, you can use something else from another eyeshadow if you so choose, but I'm only gonna stick to the colors in here just so that I can work it to its maximum potential. All right, let's get into these pencils real quick. If this was my daytime look, I would probably stop here, perhaps add just like a layer of mascara and call it a day. Let's actually do that. So this could be a final finished look. And then I'm gonna amp it up and add more things to it. So I'm gonna quickly curl my lashes just so they could be a little bit more visible against all this green. I'm gonna use this Tower 28 mascara. I'm gonna add a quick little lip using this Rare Beauty, I just have it handy, lip oil in the shade Hope. And this color is slightly pink, and I always love the way that olivey or green eyeshadows look with a pink blush and a pink lip. To me, I feel like it's very important to offset such a strong green color with something opposing, like a vibrant pink. I think it looks quite cute. Would you wear this daytime look? Number one. All right, let's amp it up a notch for look number 2, and let's dress it up for night. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna test out this pencil. I'm curious to see how this performs, how this glides over the eyeshadow. This is indeed very smooth for a waterproof pencil. I'm really curious to see how long this can sit on my lids before it actually sets. I'm gonna grab a little brush like this, Laura Lee Los Angeles. Oh no, baby, this sets pretty quickly, so you gotta be quick with it. I'm gonna fix it real quick because this line is definitely not straight. It's a little bit jagged. Then I'm gonna very quickly go over that to make it smoother. I'm gonna dip into the shade Willow. Camera cut off as I was blending, but what I did learn is that this pencil sets very quickly. And so if you want to blend it out, you probably got to do it with an eyeshadow the way that I'm doing here. So I'm slowly blending out the bottom of the line. The top of the wing is staying straight, but I'm just trying to have this like soft, smooth transition on the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I think I was sort of able to match at least the angle of this eyeshadow liner. And then I'm going to blend out the bottom. Kind of like that. Ooh, I don't know why it's looking so damn crooked here. Oh my god. As you guys can tell, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this liner because it is waterproof, because it sets very, very quickly, and also because it's no longer sharp, though the pencil is definitely sharpenable and I could have probably sharpened it in order to get the same result as here, but because I didn't, now I'm forced to try to make it work. I'm gonna take this same shade, Citrine, and I'm gonna attempt to clean up this bottom area here and make it a little bit more meaningful and purposeful rather than a mistake. And I'm also gonna match that on this side. Yes, sweetie pie. This eye looks really nice. This one, not quite there yet. So now I'm gonna take this liner and see if I can add that to my waterline. I mean, wow, that is rather bright, though I'm not sure that it is actually flattering. I'm gonna take some micellar water and I am going to remove that part. Okay, this I can work with. So what I'm gonna do instead is actually use the dark green pencil and pop that into the waterline like that. Ooh, that looks kind of sultry. Okay, and then I'm gonna take another brush and this shade here called Calanthea. I'm just gonna smudge that right underneath. Okay, suddenly that turned the whole look around. Suddenly it has transformed and it looks fun and much more interesting than before. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, my cat wants to say hi and he scratched his eye. Where's my baby? Where's my baby? You okay? You okay, my angel? Get tall so we can see you. Oh, my baby. Here's my baby. My angel, you gonna start meowing? Or are you gonna stop meowing? You gonna stop meowing? Yeah. I don't want to get makeup on you, cutie. Can I take you out, baby? Okay, say bye. Bye, everyone. Hopefully, now that we've given my cat a little bit of attention, hopefully he'll stop meowing outside the door. But this eye look is coming together. All I needed was some of the dark green liner in my waterline. So now I definitely want to try out some of the sparkly shades. So I am thinking, let's top that with this green shade here called Macchia. And let's add that to the center lid, just like that. Right on top of that liner, just like that. And then I'm gonna take the green liner once again. I'm just gonna re-emphasize my liner. And maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of this green, Calanthea, to the outer corner crease, like right here, just for like a little bit of shadow. And same thing here. Blend that in with the liner. Just like that. I think finally that looks a little bit more purposeful. I'm gonna take a very tiny little blending brush, sculpt number 29, and this shade Flax, which is a brown. And I'm gonna add that directly to this crease, just to make it a little bit smokier. And then blend that with the shades Citrine and also Acacia. The cool thing is that a lot of these eyeshadows have very similar undertones, so it makes for a very, very easy blend into each other. I feel like it's been a while since I've created such a dramatic look on my channel. I guess it's been a while since I've actually played around with eyeshadows that would make me want to create a look like this. Ooh, a little bit more Citrine and then a bit more of that Willow. And we are looking very, very sultry and very dramatic. There's a little bit of this dark green eyeshadow fallout on the tops of my cheekbones, so I'm just gonna gently whisk that away. Thankfully, these are not staining my under eye. And the sparkles themselves are also pretty forgiving, but now I feel like I need a dramatic lip and also a lash. I'm gonna go for this Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink. Not super crazy about this product, but at least it is very, very pigmented, and I think it'll bring these eyes together. So now for the lash. Noblesse from Kiss, I believe. One is already cut, the other one is not. Perfect for me. Quickly adding lashes to this look because it clearly needs some lashes. This is a very dramatic look. All right, and there you have it. I don't know, suddenly I feel like there needs to be like an attitude shift with this look. I feel like I need to be a little bit more Mariah than Maryam, if you know what I mean. This lash, of course, is not staying glued, so bear with me. But yeah, to say that this is dramatic is an understatement. This is definitely very bold. This is very bright, in your face, colorful. Not for everyone, but definitely for a lover of dramatic makeup. And I'm not 100% certain that I would actually wear this makeup out on the street today in 2023. Perhaps I would tone it all the way down and make it a little bit more current and a little bit more wearable. But something about these textures and these pigments was just dictating for me to create this drama on my eyes, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm sure there's a time and a place where perhaps I would wear this, and now that I've had a little bit of practice with this palette. The quality of the eyeshadows for sure is there. There are definitely a number of colors that I will continue using, especially this bright green and some of these sparkly shades, though I'm not sure if I will actually put them all to use at once. I would say probably 2 to 3 colors max in one look is what I would do in my current life, but definitely let me know if you'd like to see me attempt a more current look with this palette, perhaps in an IG reel or even here on YouTube Shorts. This look that I created here, look number 2, was definitely more of like a trial, testing out all the different colors and textures and seeing how they all work and pair together. And you could probably tell that there was for sure a learning curve, I guess because I have not really done a super dramatic look in a while, but not to say that the quality isn't there. The quality is definitely there for the artist. So if you are into this very specific color story, you will probably like this palette. Final point that I want to make, I saw some people online saying that if you have an olive undertone, you will probably gravitate towards this palette, though I will have to potentially disagree with that statement, because if you have an olive undertone and you add more olives to your face, you will end up probably looking a little bit more green than olive. I'm not sure if this is necessarily for the olive undertones. This is definitely geared for everyone, and if you have specifically an olive undertone, I would definitely 100% amp up this color story with a bright pink such as this, which is what I'm gonna do for my final thing, just to add a little bit more balance to my face. I feel like that's what it needed. Just a little bit of pinkiness on the cheeks. This is Too Faced Cloud Crush in the shade Candy Clouds, and suddenly I like what I see. You let me know if I'm wrong, comment down below, but that is my story and I am sticking to it. Basically, the new NATASHA DENONA Yucca palette is definitely a hit with me quality-wise, though I'm not so sure that everyone will gravitate towards this color story. Is it unique and different? Absolutely, 100% it is. So if you are someone who is into makeup, if you are someone who's into different colors and playing with eyeshadows, you will absolutely love this. So those are my 2 final cents. And on that note, I'm going to wrap up this very long video. I'm gonna zoom on out. Hopefully you like this very dramatic look that you see on my face. Peace out. I'm out. Check out more videos over here. Deuces.